For those of you with a 14 to 18 Chevy Silverado 1500, I'm going to show you guys how to outfit the rear of the truck completely with the brightest lighting products available today. We're going to be installing the Xenon Depot license plate bracket, the GTR lighting cargo lights, the 1000 lumen reverse lights, and an insane pair of license plate bulbs. So follow me and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Now the first thing we're going to be installing today is the license plate light bracket by Xenon Depot. We've been putting this on every truck that comes through our shop doors lately. It's unbelievably bright and it works on almost any vehicle. So no matter what you've got at home, you can install one of these and get an insane reverse light. Now the Xenon Depot license plate bracket mounts to the top of your license plate and it works on almost every vehicle. You tie it into your reverse light wiring. Most people can do this install in 5 to 10 minutes with basic hand tools, and it produces an insane amount of reverse light output. Now the first step in installing the license plate bracket itself is removing these two Phillips screws here. With the screws removed, you're going to see there's an opening back here, and the nice part about that is there's already some factory wiring running behind the bumper itself that we can definitely follow with our license plate light wiring as well. We're going to end up taking this wiring up to the taillight itself. Now, some people have asked in our comment sections why we don't just tie into the 7-pin trailer connector to the left. You can do that. Not every truck has it, and you have to lay on your back to solder to that. We're already going to upgrade the reverse lights anyways, so I'm just going to pop a taillight out and wire it in right there. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. Now installing this license plate light is extremely simple. Hold it in front of your plate, pass the screws through, just like that, and reinsert the screws into the bumper. Now since there's such a large opening behind this plate, you can just pass your wiring behind the plate itself, run it down, and we'll zip tie it across the rear of the bumper later. With the screws tightened up, as you can see, this is going to fire down at the road real nice. And these things, I cannot tell you enough about how bright these are. I've got one on my truck. I got one of the first ones Xenon Depot made, and I cannot believe what it does for the rear of that truck at night. Now after installing the license plate bracket, it's extremely easy to just reach up underneath the bumper, grab onto one of your license plate lights, and change those at the exact same time. You can pull it down below the bumper here and swap the bulb out just like this. Pop the original bulb out. Installing the new GTR lighting bulb is extremely simple. It goes right back into the same socket. It looks just like this, and you can reach it back up into the bumper and plug it back in. Do the exact same thing for the other side. Now I know you guys are excited to get that license plate light working, but the first thing we need to do is pop this tail light out. There are two Phillips screws, one on the top, one on the bottom. We're gonna pull that toward us, we're gonna upgrade our reverse lights, and we're gonna tie that wiring in at the exact same time. At this point, you can pull the taillight this way, pop it out just like this. There's some clips on the left-hand side of this taillight, and they can put up a little bit of a fight, but a little bit of outward pressure, they will pop free. Since we're gonna be soldering to this wiring, I'm gonna unplug all of these bulbs for the moment and just let the harness hang here. The center bulb is the reverse light bulb. It's this one right here, and that's what we're gonna be changing today. At this point, you can run the wiring across the rear of the bumper and up to this taillight opening right here. It's a very straight shot under there. You can actually reach it very easily compared to other trucks. Pull the wiring through just like that. And when you're all done with this, make sure you go back through there and just zip tie it up so that it doesn't dangle or get caught up in anything. Now that we've got our wiring for our license plate light ran up to our taillight harness, we can strip this back right here. This is our reverse light, and I always highly recommend that you test your wiring before you solder anything. It's very important. The last thing you want to do is get to this point and connect to the wrong wires. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll probably have seen our story this week. We've done 3 of these installs this week alone. I know the black wire is ground, I know the green wire is positive for the reverse light, but your truck could be different, so always do your testing. Go ahead and strip your wiring. If you're using a T-tap or something like that, you can obviously follow your own instructions. We're going to solder these up just so we don't have trouble in the future. Go ahead and strip back your Xenon Depot license plate light wiring, and then we're just going to connect the negative wire to our negative reverse light wire. Now the way you'd test this if you don't know what wires to connect to at home is you'd have a helper get in the driver's seat, put the truck in reverse, and you could use a multimeter or a test light back here to make sure that these 2 wires go to ground and to positive 12 volts when you put it in reverse. Go ahead and solder up your wiring and tape it up to prevent any corrosion or moisture from getting in there. Now I'm just going to throw some tape over these wires just to keep everything nice and tidy back here. The last thing I want is a bunch of exposed wiring hanging out. And it should look something like this when you're all done. Now at this point we can start reinstalling our bulbs, and as you can see I'm just throwing the stock ones back in for now. We do offer all of the brake lights and everything for this truck as well on our website, headlightrevolution.com. This video is just covering the white lights in the rear of the truck. Now this is what your original reverse light looked like, and actually it's supposed to be a T15 bulb. This likely was replaced at one point. Either way, it's not a very bright bulb, as you probably already know, and it compares in no way to the 1000 lumen reverse light by GTR Lighting. This is a big difference over stock, as you're about to see. These things are insane. One of my favorite products here. With it connected to your factory wiring, you can twist the bulb into the original slot for the reverse light bulb. It fits in just like that with that grommet, provides a nice seal, and these things are so bright. Finally, install your top light just like this, and we can reinstall our tail light. Do the exact same thing for the other side. The last thing we need to do on this truck is the cargo light. There are two screws that hold it in. Go ahead and remove those. Now on some of these trucks they can be a T20 Torx bit, on some of them they can be a Phillips bit. Depends on what truck you've got. At this point you can grab the bottom edge, lift up on it, pop it out just like that, and you're gonna see the bulbs on the back side. Now there are two cargo lights on the back side of this, one on top, one on bottom. Twist the socket counterclockwise to remove it from the housing. We're going to be replacing that bulb with the Carbide 2.0 bulbs from GTR Lighting, and they look like this. That's a big difference compared to that little halogen bulb we just took out. Reinstallation is extremely simple. Fits right back into that same spot. And this is about the biggest bulb you could put in this housing. It barely fits, but it does fit. So you're about to see it is very bright. Do the same thing for the other one. Pop the original bulb out. Now if I've made any of this look easy, it's because it really is. This is something you can do at home with basic hand tools in your driveway. Really not a whole lot to it. Go ahead and pop the cargo light back into the roof and reinstall your screws. Now let's see how much brighter all this stuff really is. I told you guys those were the brightest possible products, and as you can see, they absolutely are. Now, if you need anything else for your Silverado, if you somehow landed on this video before you saw the headlight video, you definitely have to check that out. Click subscribe below. We've got a lot of content coming out on this particular truck, and you don't want to miss any of it.